Alright, so we're in this lesson one. This is going to be awesome. Really quick stuff too, I think. I'm kind of working on my laptop here because I'm having problems with the desktop. But it shouldn't be too bad. Should be able to still fly through it, I hope. All we're doing is manipulating boxes, as you can see this. I mean, this has got to be pretty simple stuff, right? Albeit we're going to do like wrinkles and stuff like that in the next texturing DVD. But this is just boxes and just taking them and making some furniture. Shouldn't be hard at all. We just have to know the proportions. And we're going to start with the lounge chair, which is 31 length, 33 width, and 32 high. So what we're going to do is start in max on a brand new scene, fresh, reset everything. And what we'll do is once we're done modeling all the living room stuff, we'll merge it into our architectural scene, the whole interior. Alright, so what I want to do is create a box, and I'll do that in the top view, why not, and then just drag it up. And what I want to do right away is to get the proportions correct. So I'm going to Alt-W in this top view. I'm going to go over to tape measures, and before I get to doing anything, I'm going to take the unit setup in US standard with fractional inches. You can do whatever it is you want to do, whatever you're used to. This is just what I've always done in real life construction, and yeah, that's what we're going to use. Alright, so I'm going to specify a length here, and the length is 31 inches. Alright, so I'm just going to click over here near it and then just drag out this little green thing right here. It stops at 31, so I know it's perfect. Right click to end it. Then I'm going to grab this box. I'm just going to right click it and convert it to an editable poly. And I'm actually just going to take these vertices and just bring it over to the edge of this, the green tape right there. Alright. It said the width of this thing is 33 inches, so I'm going to get a tape measure, specify length, and go to 33 inches. Type it in there, and then just go to the edge of this and drag out that same green line, like so. Right click to end it. Select my box again, hit 1 to bring up vertices, and drag it back there. So now we have the length and the width perfectly. The only thing that this really doesn't tell us is when we go and look at this stuff right here, and I'll just look at this tab I opened up. It doesn't tell us individual pieces, it just tells us how high this is, what the width is, and the length. It doesn't give us the measurement of this wood right here, which looks to me about, I don't know, maybe 4 inches, something like that, 4 inches or so. And that's good enough. That's what we're going to make it. So let's do that. Let's take a tape measure and set it to 4 inches. And start at the bottom here and just bring up that tape measure. Grab this, select the vertices, and drag it down to 4 inches. There we go. And really, that's it right there. I'm going to center this by right-clicking these spinners here. And actually, I'm going to do it one better. I'm going to center the object first, center the pivot, and then do that. Alright, I'm going to center the Z because it's already sitting on top of the axis. So that's good for me. I'm going to hit M and get rid of this puke green color. Alright, and we have that. The rest of these little tape measures can go away. Alright, good. So now we are sitting pretty. I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it by shift dragging up. And I'm going to click on my angle snaps and rotate it 90 degrees, just like that. I'm going to bring it up here and set it on top here. Drag it back just a little bit. In the picture it had a little bit of a lip. If you have no edges showing, hit F4 so you can see what you're doing. Like that. It's got green edges. I'm going to click this over here. I'm on my laptop, so not everything's working right here for me. And for some reason, oh, I see what I did. And I'm going to say don't assign random colors. And now we have black as the outline. So good, we have that. I'm going to actually just shift drag this copy down. Click OK and rotate it around 90 degrees, like so. Go into my quad view and select this and just bring it in a little bit. And I'm actually going to hit R and scale it down some. Just like so. Come in on here. Scale a little bit more so that it's about like the 4 inches. Just like that. Which is pretty much spot on, seems. And drag it down to here. And look at my picture one more time. And it seems that it almost goes to the edge. It's just a little bit of a lip here, it seems. So I don't want to scale it too far. I just want to keep a little bit of a lip there, but not much. And I can just pull that back on each side if I want to. The scale tool isn't working right. Alright, I'm going to select all of this and bring it up to the top of the grid, like that, so I can get out a tape measure and measure the top, from the bottom to the top, which was, I think, 32 inches in length, or in height. So I'm just drag that up right there. Let's select this, go into vertice mode, and just drag it down to that tape measure right there. And there we go. Delete that tape, and we are pretty much sitting pretty. I'm going to take this, go into my front view, and kind of just bring it over here to the side. And while I'm on this piece, if you notice this has like a taper effect to it, what I can do there is just select the vertices to the top here. Make sure you're getting the back, and I'm just going to taper them in like so. And I'll duplicate that over after I'm done chamfering everything. Alright, so it looks like we are well on our way. This top also looks to have a taper of some kind, but it looks like the front of it actually goes more than it's squeezed at the top. It looks like just like this right side is pushed in more to the left. So let's do that. Let's go to the left view and select our vertices and just push these over some, like that. And it actually doesn't look as thick. This back doesn't look as thick as this is. So I might even just take this and drag it over some and have this a little bit more like that. There we go. And it seems that the whole thing is rotated. So I'm going to rotate it about, I don't know, that looks good, about 5 degrees. Just bring it back for a little bit of a lip there. And since this isn't doing very good, I'm just going to bring it down. Just match it a little bit like that. Bring that up some. Alright. That looks pretty good. Alright. And that is our chair so far. So let's chamfer this thing, because as you look at it now, if you take F4 off, it just looks really sharp, right? Like you cut yourself on it. So I'm going to select, I'm going to go underneath, I'm going to select this polygon, I'm going to control click the top, and then hit control and this edge button. And what that does is selects the edges all the way around. You can't really do a loop selection on an open face like this. I don't know why it does that, because this is a loop, but I don't know. Just go to chamfer and bring it down about 1/8 of an inch or so, something like that. And then select this edge, hit ring, and then because it doesn't select this when you hit ring, just hit loop, so it'll loop all that. And do another chamfer, take it down a little bit, something like that. And that works good. If you take off F4, you can see now that it's a little more rounded looking. It looks more like wood that way. And you don't have to get too technical with the chamfering, like with segments in here. I'm not going to do anything like that, but you chamfer it away as much as you want to, go crazy with it. It does leave n-gons, but because this is hard surface and we're not applying any kind of turbo smooth, we don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to go on each side here, do the same thing, control click the edge, hit chamfer, make sure it's only 1/8 of an inch for me. And then I'm going to select this right here in the middle, do a ring, do a loop, and do another chamfer. You don't have to do it that much if you don't want to, but I'm going to do it a little bit. So I take off F4 and just look at that. That looks pretty good from far away. F4, I'm going to do the same thing here. Control click the edge, do a chamfer, select this side, ring, loop, and chamfer Just click OK. Now we have that. F4 is looking good. And now what I'm going to do is just take this and I mean I can do like a mirroring effect, but really if you see this edge is on this grid point right here, I'm just going to shift drag and make sure that the opposite edge is on that grid point. And it's basically symmetrical. And there we have the chair. So let's do some really quick cushions on this thing. I'm going to go into standard here and select a box. Go into my top view and just drag out, just drag out another one, bring it up some like so. Because it's black now, I'm going to apply this gray material to it, just like that. Look at this. The cushions are pretty thick, at least a couple more inches thicker than this wood is. So just drag it down a little like that. And what I'm going to do automatically is apply a turbo smooth to this. I just want to click this, hit T, turbo smooth, and you see what it does automatically. It's terrible. So we'll go to box and we'll add a width segment, a length segment, and a height segment to it. Just like that. Yeah, and we'll turn off this turbo smooth so we can see what we're doing. I think what I'm going to do is add another width segment to it, another height segment, and another length segment. Yeah, so when we turn on turbo smooth again, it looks a little more rounded, as you can see in here, just like so. And I'm thinking that's what I want to do with it. Not particularly sure right now though. I'm still trying to think how I want to do this, because you can do this with a chamfer box as well. So let's delete that. Let's try that. Let's go to extended primitives, chamfer box, go back to our top view and just draw it out. We're going to give it some height, and then if you keep dragging, it does chamfers to it. So right click to end the tool. I'm just going to bring it up like so. Hit M, drag that on there. I like chamfer boxes because it already has the softness of the edge in. Like if you turn F4 off, you see it already kind of looks like a cushion. And actually, this cushion looks almost proportionate. Yeah, pretty much does already. Go to my front view and look at it. It's kind of in the wood. We don't want that. So I'm going to bring it up a little bit. And we have that already. So if you were to go into here and add a turbo smooth on top of this, like so, it really doesn't do much else to it. It stays that way, which really helps us too when we go into ZBrush and add extra subdivisions to wrinkle this baby up. The bad thing about it is it has triangles in it, which you'd have to clean up. So we have to figure and take that into account of how we really want to do this. I'm thinking that I like the chamfer box. I'm going to go with the chamfer box. I'm just going to add a few more segments to it. Maybe 4 this way, and I'm trying to keep it square. We'll go 4 that way, and the height segment we'll just make it 1 more. Just like that. So that's good. Let's go and look at this. These pillows sit on top of it, and we can probably get the same thing. You'll notice that it's kind of rounded more so in the middle and down on the right and left hand side. We can do that easily by adding an FFD modifier like 4x4. We can go into our front view, click on this little plus box, and select these points, hold down Control and select these, and just drag them down a little bit, just like that. We can select all these points if we want to, and kind of like drag it a little bit this way. Gives it like that. And we can come look into here, unselect that, hit F4, and you can notice that it's now got some kind of effect to it like that. Kind of subtle, but decent enough. I'm going to right click this and convert this to an editable poly. That will collapse the FFD modifier. And what I'm going to do with the pillow is a regular box. I'm just go back to standard, click box, go into my front view, and actually I'm going to look at the picture really quick. It's pretty high up. So, alright, and do that to it. Pull it back. I'm just going to look at these cushions. This cushion's pretty thick actually, so I'm going to scale it a little more and then bring this in like so, this up. And then what I'm going to do with this is convert it to an editable poly, hit F4 so I can see all my edges. We already have edges in there, which is good. So if I were to apply a turbo smooth on top of this, you'll notice that it will do something like that. So I want to give it some more thickness. I'm going to shoot out a little bit that way. Alright, on top of this editable poly right here, I'm going to apply an FFD modifier. Alright, I'm going to go into my left view and select these middle right through here and just kind of drag it out some. I'm going to look at this, kind of bring this in and over like that, maybe this backwards some. From the front view, just going to kind of mess it up a little bit because we can do a lot of this stuff actually in ZBrush. So these corners kind of go up like that. Because we don't really have as much detail in here as I would like, we'll just kind of set it up like that ahead of time. Alright, and I'm just going to drag this back like so, maybe rotate it a little bit, put it down like this, just so I can see what I'm doing. I'll put it right here, and there we go. F4, and we have our little chair done. So let's save this. We're going to hit Save As. In our scenes, we'll just make a new folder, call it Living Room Set. Open it up and just say 1. And that way we can just hit plus after that, and by the end we'll have so many different numbers, you know. So we'll just hit this, we'll call it 1. The next one will be 2, 3, 4, and so on. So hit save. And in the next video, what we're going to do is make this one chair into our couch. So I'll see you there.